Breaking right now, Trump is appealing his hush money case. We knew he would do this. But what's interesting is the grounds on which he's appealing it on. He is filing this appeal because they got the 34 convictions, right? The felony convictions they so desperately wanted. He's filing the appeal because he says this is kind of actually a manipulation of the law, a manipulation of criminal law. In other words, you never had the ability to bring this in the first place. Don't forget, even Jack Smith didn't bring this charge. Alvin Bragg initially declined to bring it, but they brought it forward because they wanted somehow, some way to just get this conviction. You even had a judge who told the jury, it doesn't matter what you think he's guilty of. If you think he's guilty of any of these things, effectively, A, B, C, or D, it's like a multiple choice question test. You can go with it. And you know the jury pool in New York being what it is, they wanted to convict him of something. So this is a problem. His attorney is now saying the misuse of the criminal law by the Manhattan DA to target President Trump sets a dangerous precedent. And we look forward to the case being dismissed on appeal. And I believe it will be dismissed on appeal. But again, you're talking about the misuse of criminal law. That's pretty messed up. And when people say, is this going to be retribution? I'm just saying, we can't live like this. We can't have a system where we effectively become no better than a banana republic because every guy or gal who gets in office is suddenly at risk of being sued and thrown in the slammer, just like Brazil, right? Like Lula was in the jail and now he's out. He's president again. Like, we're not Brazil. We don't want to be Brazil. We don't want to be Mexico. We don't want to be Argentina, and we don't want to be Venezuela. And so it's actually up to Pam Bondi, and it's up to Kash Patel, and it's up to hopefully Tulsi Gabbard, who gets over there at National Intelligence, to actually clean house and get these things working and squeaky clean with people who actually have some backbone and value system and are patriots as opposed to political animals.
So let me start with an easy truth that you could speak to the president. Can you tell him that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? Can you say that? Do you have the independence to say that? Do you have the gravitas, the stature, the intestinal fortitude to say, Donald Trump, you lost the 2020 election? Can you tell us that here today?
Senator, what I can tell you is I will never play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I won't do it. I won't play politics with any ongoing investigation.
So let me ask you another.
Like you did, leaking your colleague Devin Nunes's memo.
If you can't.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, right? I mean, this is Pam Bondi's hearing, and she was terrific. She did a great job, but he's so freaked out. Like, Schiff is really worried because they're going to come after him. And James, I'm seeing your comment here. James Jones writing how great it will be if these liars are held accountable for their actions. Also, it's pretty great to have a competent press secretary, right? Yeah. We're not asking for much, just somebody who doesn't constantly have to look at her binder and get back to you on things. Circle back, as one Jen Psaki would say, otherwise known as Peppermint Patty, and then KJP, who, God bless her, poor little thing, because we used to have her as a Fox News contributor. I used to bring her on the show occasionally. Oh my gosh, it was like I would feel bad for her on the air because, especially I was at Fox Business, we talk about economic issues. She didn't have a clue, did not have a freaking clue on anything. And so it felt like an uneven fight. We put a Democrat up against a Republican, and there would be KJP, and she knew nothing. And she was just really, I thought that would just be awful when they got her, and boy, oh boy, was I right? Really, really, really clueless stuff. Anyway, I think Pam Bondi is going to go after a lot of people. I think that you're going to see some heads roll. And one of the questions that I keep coming back to, and I'm going to play you this clip, I played it yesterday, so bear with me if you saw this yesterday, but I just think it's super important to understand what the Attorney General was actually doing. Merrick Garland, we now know his office, the White House, was in touch with Fannie Willis's boyfriend down in Georgia. Now, that's not supposed to happen. You also know that, for example, in the Alvin Bragg case, they sent somebody on the team that came from Merrick Garland's office. So I have a feeling there was a little too much interaction from the feds and trying to influence the states.
Communicating with these state and local prosecutions against Trump, you can clear it all up for us right now. Will the Department of Justice provide to the committee all documents, all correspondence between the department and Alvin Bragg's office and Fonnie Willis's office and Letitia James's office.
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get that. I get that.
State.
The question is whether or not you will provide all of your documents and correspondence. That's the question. I don't need a history lesson.
Well, I'm going to say again, we do not control those offices. They make their own decisions.
The question is whether you communicate with them, not whether you control them. Do you communicate with them, and will you provide those communications?
You make a request. We'll refer it to our Office of Legislative Affairs.
But see, here's the thing. You come in here and you lodge this attack that it's a conspiracy theory, that there is coordinated lawfare against Trump. And then when we say, fine, just give us the documents, give us the correspondence, and then if it's...
So I'd like to see it. I'd like to know. And this is what they have to get at. So Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, they will be on the case. And yes, it's going to be a glorious day when we actually figure out what the heck was really going on. And I think there were a lot of things going on.